Mmm, salty, smoky, sweet, buttery smoked salmon. Who doesn't love smoked salmon? Salt, fat, acid, heat, and smoke. I'm gonna show you how to make an ultimate smoked salmon that's hot and buttery in less than 10 minutes. Freaking incredible. Here at ChefSteps, we've made about 10,000 types of salmon. I got some smoked salmon here from the famous Pike Place Market. There's a few different kinds, ranging from smoked salmon candy to king salmon to sockeye, and they're all delicious. Really, smoked salmon is one of those preservation techniques, right? So you got a lot of salt, a lot of sugar, you smoke it until it's dry, you can vacuum bag it, keep it for a year. I'm gonna take all the flavors of that and bundle it up. Here's what I'm aiming for. I want all the best things about smoked salmon, so that sugary, salty, sweet smokiness, but I also want it with perfectly cooked, buttery, flaky salmon, like sous vide salmon. And we're gonna cheat and use liquid smoke. And I'm also gonna show you about using the little smoking gun if you really wanna double it up. I want it to be ready in less than 10 minutes because it's dinner tonight. And I want it to be really, really good, hot and fresh or cold. You can eat it right after it comes out of the oven on some veggies, or you can put it in the fridge and put it on a salad the next day. Literally get like all the best things that we've ever learned at ChefSteps in one dish in less than 10 minutes. It's amazing. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more than you need to know because I like to give you extra. But if you're gonna make this at home, you're gonna start with a fatty piece of salmon, get one that's already like skin off, and get one that's already pin bone out. And especially if there's a guy at the fish counter, make him do that for you. This is one of the few recipes for me, salmon-wise, where I take the skin off. And the reason why is I want every bite to be salty, smoky, tender, and cook fast. So if I cook with skin on with this recipe, the skin's gonna be kind of like rubbery and not really have much flavor on it because it doesn't cook that long and it doesn't cook that hot. That's part of air frying this thing for 8 minutes or less, realistically. So I'm gonna take the skin off of this salmon. Step one, you just went to the grocery store, you don't need to do this. You're a mom, you work hard enough as it is. You don't need to do this part too. This is Icelandic farm-raised salmon. I'm gonna do this thing like you were cooking for 2 to 4 people at home, Monday through Friday kind of thing. It's such an easy recipe. So here's the thing, secret with this is however big your salmon piece is, I'm not gonna cook one piece, I'm gonna cook sticks, tranches, like this. So each of these, it's more of like a dimension thing. So each of these is kind of like, maximum surface area with every bite. So every bite has salty, smoky sweetness around it. And that's gonna make the salmon cook faster, have more flavor, faster. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here. I'm gonna measure the salt, the sugar, the smoke, 2% smoke, 2% salt. So that's 12 grams of each. And if you're doing this at home and you're scaling the portions up or down, just like throw it in a bowl and mix it all up kind of thing, I just wanna make sure the liquid smokes over all these pieces. Yum, it smells so good already. Same thing here, salt, 2%, another 12 grams. 2%'s on the heavier side of seasoning foods. Usually it's like 1, 1 1/4, 1 1/2. But when it's really fatty and we're gonna add sugar and the smoke, you can kind of come up on the salt a little bit. All right, this is it. Brown sugar party. Some of it's just gonna melt and syrup off. Look at that, does that look happy? This is the part that the kids like, the sugar. So again, I measured it. You don't really need to. And on ChefSteps.com, every one of our recipes has those scaling tools. So if you're like, it's hard, you can go to ChefSteps and you just like add how much salmon you have in there and it'll tell you exactly how much sugar to use and salt and liquid smoke and all that. This is it. Then on a tray, a little spray on some foil, fish goes in. Let the cooking begin. So all you need is an air fryer and some sort of digital thermometer, but really we want to pull it to our desired doneness. Sous vide cooking, which is like equilibrium cooking, different than what we're doing here, which is delta cooking, which is hotter temperature than the food. This one, we did low and slow temperatures in the oven, and I decided I don't like waiting that long for a weeknight salmon dinner, but what I wanted here was something that's like perfectly cooked, a little tan and a little bubbly, just like fresh smoked salmon, and it still only takes like 10 minutes in the oven, 300 degree air fryer. So that's a low temperature for air frying. Let's cook it. We're all set to go. 300 super convection air fry. Salmon goes in. I'm gonna set it for 10 minutes. Now we yell at the kids or whatever else you have when you're going on in your life to catch up on White Lotus. So we're making smoked salmon. Check this out. If you really want it smoky, or you're doing a liquid smoke and you happen to have a smoking gun, these are actually really handy for, you know, stuff like this. Look at this. Oh yeah. You could even kill this for a second. This is like super leveled up smoked salmon. So smoky. Get back on track here. Salmon's been in for 8 minutes, 9 minutes. I'm gonna temp it. Let's stick a probe in though, because I'm a weirdo. So it went in, you know, cold. It's at 40 C, which is getting there. That's like 105. Really the temperature is like making sure the sugar cooks but not burns, meaning boils, dissolves, gets gooey, sticky, and dry into like a smoked salmon, but not burns. And just enough runway to make sure the salmon's perfectly cooked too. And we're pretty much done. It's ready. It's 115 right now. I'll just try one more piece of fish. Some of the salmon on this one's this thick, some of it's this thick, you know, because of the belly. But we're about 115 on some spots and 120 on other spots. It smells smoky and sugary. Dinner's ready. It's got that red smoky tan from smoked salmon. That's from the liquid smoke, from the brown sugar. And I know it's sugary because I put a lot of sugar on it. This is usually dinner at my house. It doesn't make it off the tray. Oh my God. Oh my God. Who wants to try some before we plate it up? Oh, yeah. So you got bacon on the brain? Yeah, right? Here, just come over here. I'll feed you. Ow. So good. The most amazing amount of flavor and texture for the least amount of work. It's insane. You could eat it hot or cold too. Not a lot of folks have had smoked salmon when it's buttery, hot, fresh steak like this. It's freaking delicious. But this is now a technique you can take home, turn regular salmon into 3-star heaven in 10 minutes. Here at ChefSteps, we've cooked salmon about 10,000 different ways. Everything on how to brine it, butcher it, everything you can think of. I've turned salmon into katsuobushi and different broths. We've centrifuged salmon, we've sous vided it forever. I've got to say, this is probably the highest ROI salmon recipe ever that I've come across. Meaning, you can take regular salmon, turn it into a dish that anybody is gonna go nuts for in like 10 minutes. It's insane. Whoa! That's like insane. Oh my God. Yeah.
Subscribe to our channel and visit chefsteps.com for more tips, recipes, guides, and tools to help you level up in the kitchen.